After acquiring AP and addressing some of the issues, Jon Horst may be moving to address another issue on the Milwaukee Bucks roster, this time trying to reunite Dame with another player from the Portland Trail Blazers. I'm Jake Finnerty, and welcome on into Bucks Digest. If you want to keep it locked on all things Milwaukee Bucks, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. As we inch closer to 1,000 subs, we just hit that 600 subscriber mark. 90% of our people watching these videos are not subscribed. Please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Stay locked on absolutely everything here on Bucks Digest. But, like we said, there's still issues with this roster, with this Milwaukee Bucks roster going into next year. How will Jon Horst address that? Well, we have a little bit of speculation on who the target is, on who may be coming to the Milwaukee Bucks based on a trade that's been floating around. And it's another player that Damian Lillard would be tied to, would have already played with, would have experience with. However, Bucks fans may be up in arms about this one because they're not going to like how we acquire this guy. However, that person that I'm talking about, of course, is Jerami Grant. Jerami Grant, 6'7", power forward, small forward, averaging 21 points a game last year on 3.5 rebounds a game, almost 3 assists a game, shooting well on threes, 40% on those, 45% field goal percentage. Listen, you're going to get shot creation out of Jerami Grant. You're going to get the scoring aspect and even providing some of that defense too. Jerami Grant, really a solid defender, especially at that wing position. And I think that's a bit of the issue is we're trying to get a little bit more depth at the wing. Because right now, we might not have that. Khris Middleton obviously suffering an injury or recovering from surgery in this offseason, trying to prevent injury going forward. But these past couple of years, having those injury issues. Now we're looking at, what do we want to do in that? And I've proposed, obviously, in the past, if you watch some of my videos, trying to get Andrew Wiggins, trying to beef up that 4-5 or 3-4, I should say, position, especially defensively, because defensively, Khris Middleton is a bit too slow to guard a lot of these wing guys. He provides a lot of scoring, but we need a lot more lateral quickness for that defense, and the fact of the matter is he's just too slow for it. So as you could tell on the tone of my voice and the tone of me saying this, how are we going to acquire Jerami Grant? Well, based on a lot of speculation and trades that we've been seeing, this is a trade that's been floating around a lot, and that's Jerami Grant coming to the Milwaukee Bucks, Khris Middleton going out to the Golden State Warriors, and Andrew Wiggins and Moses Moody ending up in Portland. Now, I say a lot of you Bucks fans are not going to like this. Not a lot of people want to part from Khris Middleton. But I'm going to tell you, slow your roll. Because there is a lot of upside to this trade. Khris Middleton is someone that this franchise has loved, this franchise has developed, this franchise has won a championship with. He's been a hometown guy. I love it. I love him. But I think it might be time to start looking at other options, especially because we have to start addressing these weaknesses. Especially looking at the stats from last year. Playing in almost exactly the same amount of games, Jerami Grant averaged more points, a little bit less rebounds, and a little bit less assists. However, you're getting a lot of the scoring there. This is a big deal because of the fact that we're trying to find guys that could score on this team. The offense was a little bit shallow from what we saw last year. Not many people scoring, and of course, Middleton only playing those 55 games. Granted, Grant only played 54, but Grant also has a little bit of an interesting dynamic that could bring to this team, and that's the fact that he's played with Damian Lillard in the past. He's played on a team with Damian Lillard. And what did he do when he played with Damian Lillard? He averaged almost 20 points. He averaged 5 rebounds. He averaged 2 assists in 50 games. In that same stretch, almost. His numbers were all very similar. I personally would love to see Jerami Grant on the Milwaukee Bucks. I would love to see that trade take place. Like I said, Khris Middleton is a guy that will never be taken for granted in the Milwaukee locker room. But what I do think is we need improvement. We especially need improvement when it comes to defense, keeping that same kind of bar for offense, giving you that a similar production, finding a guy who, Jerami Grant, is a shot creator, being able to get to the bucket, make those shots. I like the Jerami Grant fit. I do. I like the defensive aspect that he can bring to this team because we've had questions about what Gary Trent is going to bring. We've seen the speed of these other wings really be an issue for Middleton to keep up with. We know that Brook Lopez is a great paint defender, but it's the same thing with him. Where's that lateral quickness coming from on the defensive side of the ball? I like the versatility that Jerami Grant can bring. Going into this offseason, we knew the big word was versatility. Swiss Army knife type guys where you can plug and play and they can kind of do everything. They may not excel at one thing, but they can do it all. I think Jerami Grant can provide offense, can give us better defense on the wing, and even just be that guy that hopefully can stay on the court all year because, as much as I hate to say it, everyone knows Khris Middleton has kind of been a liability when it comes to his injuries. We've seen it the past couple of years. We've seen it bring down his game. I would love to see Jerami Grant in a Milwaukee Bucks uniform. So let me know what you think about Jerami Grant coming to the Milwaukee Bucks in the comments down below. And as always, make sure you subscribe to stay locked on all things Milwaukee Bucks here on Bucks Digest.